I have a Webpack Redux thing. Okay, cool. Webpack Redux.
Is there nothing in here?
Nothing in here.
LS. Okay. So I guess first of all you're going to do an npm init.
Okay.
And then just press enter like a bunch of times. So it's going to ask you a bunch of questions like, what do you want this node module to be called? So just Webpack Redux.
So what does this do? Make just a node module?
Yeah, you're making an npm module that could potentially go on like the npm like registry at some point.
Gotcha.
If you wanted it to.
So that when you're making an app, you're making an npm module. Like if you're making an isolated React app, like you build it in a way that you could just make it a library for someone else to use.
Yes.
Okay. Got
That
it.
is essentially what we're doing.
Version 1.
Yeah. I mean, all these options that they're going to give you are just like the defaults are fine, right? You don't need a description, whatever. Forget about all this stuff. But yeah, it's like stuff that you can use, like for searchability and for all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Okay. So
what
this
that's
just
gonna
basically makes a package.json. Right?
Yes, that's right. And then it's gonna, and then you'll be able to do like npm install and like
I want this shit full
that kind of
screen
stuff.
also. Haha, dope. Needs to be bigger though. But we can make the code bigger.
Okay,
Right.
so let's see here.
So I have a package.json. Cool. I'm a
So-
JavaScript developer now.
Hell yeah, dude. So we're gonna need some node modules, right? We're gonna need React. We're gonna need React DOM. We're gonna need Babel. We're gonna need Webpack.
Shit.
We're probably gonna need Redux at some point.
Okay, so this is like in dependency to do this shit, right?
So no, check this out. So go back to the terminal, yeah, and do npm install dash save
Dash or dash dash?
dash save Webpack. No, let's do React. Yep.
And that just gets the latest version.
Yep.
And that puts it in the package.json if you do save.
So now go back to your editor. So you see where it says node modules
Yes.
on the left? So if you open that up, you'll see React in
But
there.
it's this dependencies
Yes,
thing here.
right. But if you open up the node modules, it's also in there. So like that's actually it's like downloaded React to your machine.
Gotcha.
As well. Now,
Didn't they release like a React that's like 15.0? They like changed the versioning of it.
it's not actually.
It's
out
not
yet. They're
actually.
just saying
Gotcha.
they just put a blog post out saying it's going to happen.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Okay, so then next we're gonna also, because like the whole point of this is to use Webpack, so we're gonna do npm install dash save dev dash dev.
What does that do?
So you have to do dash save dash dev, like it's one thing, one flag. So that's gonna put it in. You know how it said dependencies in package.json? There's also a section called dev dependencies, which is for stuff that is like only
not
really
deployed.
Yeah, it's only stuff for you while you're in development. So like testing stuff, all kinds of testing stuff will go in there.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna do Webpack, and then while we're here, let's just do the Babel ones as well. So what you can do is you can just you can do space separated packages. So you're gonna do Babel dash core, and then space Babel dash loader. And then the next two are kind of confusing. So have you heard about like the whole like JavaScript fatigue thing like on Twitter like at all, where it's just like very difficult and there's just so many
There's just too much shit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much shit. So this is kind of what people are talking about. Like first of all, that's like 3 or 4 things that we've already installed.
And Babel just like makes you be able to write ES syntax and compiles it into like something that works on legacy JavaScript. That's the
And Babel's, I mean, so originally it was called 6.5, which is supposed to be ES6 to ES5. Now they've changed it to Babel, and it's going to be useful for like any future JavaScript like versions, any new language features. Like
so like you'll just write your code in whatever the latest version of JavaScript is, and it just deals with the backwards compatibility.
Basically,
so you just compile it. Okay,
and
gotcha.
Yeah, and then so then you're also going to want this. They've re-architected like the way that their stuff works. So now you have to like just using the Babel loader by itself isn't enough. You have to use these like presets. So the last 2 things we're going to do are Babel dash preset dash ES 2015. And then the next one is Babel dash preset dash React. And that's the last thing we need.
All those?
Yep, that's it. And then I also forgot React now. It comes in with 2 libraries. It's React and React DOM. So we're going to need to npm install dash save that as well.
Okay.
The React DOM.
But the only thing that of this that's actually getting deployed is the React dependency. Yeah. Everything else is dev dependency to like get the JavaScript in the right format.
Yeah, that's what all this stuff is. So that's why all of that stuff is save dev.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. So they're basically just like dev environments. They're just like tooling. They're not like actual JavaScript libraries. They're like they could be written in something that's not JavaScript for all you cared, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But if you want to stay inside of like the npm and node like ecosystem, then all right. So this is just like network latency, network going slow.
Yeah, so the JavaScript fatigue thing is that you have to do this to build an app. You can't just like FTP files to a server and just have it work. You need like to do all this shit.
Well, it's just like there's so much. Like if you were sitting here with someone who like does this all the time, like it would be a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah,
so,
like figure this shit out. All right, so I have all this shit in
dev
dependencies.
The only other thing you need is
I need React DOM.
Yeah, this actually could be a teaching one. Let's go back into package.json real quick. Another thing you can do is just put React-DOM in there on dependencies.
Yeah, so and you can like but you need to know the version.
Yeah,
right?
so let's just put star because like whatever.
You shouldn't do that though.
Probably shouldn't do that, but like, it's just like a teaching moment, like to say like, this
what would you do? You do like npmjs.com and like you'd look up like React DOM.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 0.14.7, right, or some shit.
And it's gonna be the same as whatever is the latest React version. So we couldn't.
So you just copy it.
Yeah, so that's fine too. And then you're gonna want to go and just do an npm install now. So npm install, it's gonna use that package.json to like. So we see that it says installed React.
Gotcha. Okay, it just like it's like bundle install in Ruby. Just like does the dependency management for you, and it'll.
Right. Okay. So now we're gonna need.
And by the way, we're gonna start by just making a website that says like "Hello World."
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Just get that.
So let's just make an index. Just make index.html. Like go back to your
here
terminal. Yeah, or there. That's fine.
I just do index.html.
Sure.
Here.
And then just copy in some like HTML like boilerplate or just
h1.
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess you can do like.
Yeah, you're gonna need all that.
Isn't this like HTML5? Jesus,
I don't think you need the 5, but
okay.
You can just do HTML and then a head and a body.
Yeah. Dude, nice. I feel like I'm like back in Dreamweaver or something.
Back in like Rails world or something.
Or some shit. Ready? So, and you need this. This is the div class equals footer JavaScript.
Sure.
Okay, cool. And then this goes in the body.
Nice.
That's
crushing it.
I know.
so then, do you have like a way to like serve files, or I guess we don't?
Well, you can do the Python thing, right? Like, can you do
like a little Python.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, let me do a tmux session. You use tmux?
No. What was that? I have no idea what you're doing.
Well, it's just like now I have 3, like basically from one window on my terminal, I have 3 tabs open. It's like having tabs in Chrome or some shit.
Okay.
So like I could like run the Python server from here, but then go to tab 2 and just have my terminal prompt or some shit, right?
All right.
So like sense. Python, I don't even remember how to do this.
Like
-m simple
HTTP server.
HTTP server 8080. I got it right in the first try.
So yeah, if you go looking, I like how you're on Canary. That's dope.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm always on like just.
Yo.
We're programming. Cooking with gas, dude.
That shit's up.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, then we can just like.
All right,
whatever,
we're done.
That's running.
On to the next podcast.
Let's pack it up.
Yeah.
Let's pack it up.
On to the next one.
All right, cool. So. Okay, so that's simple HTML. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Now we want some JavaScript, probably.
Right. So let's do that. Let's just do like a JavaScript alert message or something. Well, I mean, like with.
Do you want to write it like in there?
Well, I mean, I'm saying you could. Yeah, it's easy to write the JavaScript, but we need to put the actual like React shit in there.
Right. So the next thing for me is like if I'm building a new project, I'm like I basically always serve up the minimal HTML payload. So like that's what I'm gonna serve basically right there. And then I'll use JavaScript to like render everything. So I'm not like writing any HTML.
Yeah,
so
that
for
makes
me,
sense.
I would just immediately go and make an index.js now.
Okay.
Like that's all. That's what my first thing would be.
Got it.
And then in there, you're gonna want to like require React, and you're gonna want to like.
So import React. How does this work? It's like
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you're gonna do like React.create class and React DOM.render, all that stuff. But so.
Well, do I have to do like module.export SQL, whatever the component? There's some shit at the bottom I have to do here. Right?
I mean, in here you can write whatever you want. Let's actually just put like a console log hello or put like an alert in here, like you said at first, like just the simplest thing. And we can come back to this later once we get Webpack like kind of set up.
Okay.
Okay, so then just get rid of line 1. And now we'll set up our Webpack config and actually get it like to bundle, and then we'll see our alert message in the
okay, awesome.
Prompt. So what you're gonna want to do is make a webpack.config or webpack config file, so you can just make that at root here as well, just like right as a sibling of index.js and stuff.
So so what's it called?
Usually I'll call it webpack.config.js. I'm not sure, it might actually have to be called that, but I'm not totally sure. Okay, And then for me, like I would just go and copy and paste like like a default or something. So we can probably write it from scratch, but I would just go to like my GitHub, go to like github.com/willpeers.
Here you can do /.
Sorry. Oh. So like I would just basically copy and paste this, and then we can talk about what it is and modify it to our liking.
Okay. It's Command Tab is the tab switcher.
Oh, I was just doing Alt Tab because I'm on this like.
Oh, dude, did you copy it on yours? I wonder if you copy it on your clipboard, if I can paste it. Like, does that shit work?
Wait, hold on. Command C.
Command Tab, Command Paste.
And B. Yeah. Okay, so that worked. Right. So get rid of that first line. So like, let's go. Like, let's just.
So is this like Grunt or something? Is this like a replacement for what you would have used Grunt for in like the past, like some shit like that?
Yes, that is definitely. That's definitely true. Yeah, Grunt or Gulp or something like Webpack is basically like hurt those ecosystems pretty bad.
Gotcha. Because I've used Grunt before and I hated it because there's just a bunch of like nonsense like this.
Yeah, it is nonsense. That's why I like Webpack because like this is gonna end up being like this many lines. This is it. This is the whole thing right here.
Really?
So yeah, the first thing is entry, right? You tell it like where you want to like recursively like the way Webpack works is it's gonna recursively go through your entire like file structure and like bundle it all into one big like JavaScript file, and then that'll be like what gets served to your browser. So here you're saying, hey, to start in index.js,
require all the things it requires.
Require everything, yeah, require all the things it requires, and do that recursively.
And the output is going to be this thing in /dist.
Yeah, it's going to be /dist/bundle.js.
Gotcha.
So what we can do, and this Babel loader, this is why we had to Babel install stuff earlier. And then like later on, you'll see why we did the.
Is this for like running automated tests?
No, so this says. Like you can, so let me just do this. Command Z. Oh,
the fuck.
So if you look at like the other loaders we had, these are other loaders. Right?
JSX.
So these are just
CSF.
for different file types.
Gotcha.
Right?
So yeah. So the test means like that's like a regex match on like the extension that if you want to apply that thing to.
Yeah.
So you only do
this
JSX
dollar says this dollar. These dollars.
Well, it's just a regex.
Are what makes it. Yeah, but these dollars are what makes it like the file extension, the last part of the.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that would be. And Shift Z now? Yeah, sweet. Oh.
Double mega.
Right, okay.
So anything that ends in .js, run this Babel loader, that means I can write it in whatever ES6, ES7 syntax I want, and it'll automatically convert it to the old school JavaScript.
Yes, the problem is that's how it was maybe like 6 months ago or a couple months ago, but Babel, like I said, totally re-architected itself. Like it used to, it's now like Babel 6.0, but before that, you could just write this, and that would be the whole thing. Now you have to configure like these presets, so you have to tell it like, okay, I want to use like the ES 2015 preset, and I want to use the React preset that includes like the JSX transformation and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So for right now, I think this will just work. So if you go into your terminal and just like, I guess. Like just if you just run like Webpack here, see what happens. Yeah, so you might want to do npm install -g Webpack.
Yeah.
You could also like just go into your node module. Like you could just like run like node modules /webpack/bin/ whatever the script is
like
if you want to. But
so
you might as well just.
So it looks like it put it in my binary thing here. If I did. Yeah, I got it now. So.
Right. So now if you just run Webpack right here, it'll see that you have a webpack.config.js in this thing, and it ran it and it put it in dist /.
Can I put like a watcher that runs that whenever it changes?
Yes. So that's why it's good that we have the tmux thing going. So we should just do a webpack-w.
I got you, bro. Yeah, I can one up you, man. You can even split like your tmux windows like this.
Yeah, that's nice.
So like you can just have like the webpack thing running. And...
Yeah, I mean, I just use iTerm usually, which does like a lot of the same stuff, but. So yeah, just webpack-w.
I have to remember how to kill the pain though. Webpack-w. Just like that.
Yep.
So that's just watching. So now if I change this JS file here, from lowercase I, recompile.
And it's got extremely fast like recompiles. Yeah, so it took 11 milliseconds. It'll get slow, like way slower once we require React.
Yeah.
There's one cool feature. I mean, it's pretty standard. It shouldn't be cool. But anyway, if you go into like your Webpack config, you can set it to like not actually require certain things. So you can tell it, I don't want you to require React. I'm just going to load that from a CDN, and so it doesn't actually bundle it into your like Webpack bundle for you.
Gotcha.
And so your recompiles can get way faster. So for this like use case, we'll probably just bundle it in, but you can like as another key here, you could put externals. Like if you put one, you could do externals and you could do like React true or whatever, and that would mean it wouldn't actually bundle it in, but we can skip that for now.
That makes sense. All right, we'll just leave it. We can leave it as an empty hash for now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so then now if you go look in like dist bundle.js, like you'll see this is all the code, right? So this is what Webpack made. It gives you like a bunch of like crazy like library code from Webpack, and then down here at the bottom it's got like our alert.
Yep.
And it's smart and it knows how to run that like at the right time, basically.
And it has this in like this functional module exports thing, so that this is a reusable npm library, basically.
Right. So
like our index.js could be like, I didn't even need to put the module exports or anything. Like this just could be a library if like we wanted it to be.
Right, and then there's a bunch of configuration options for Webpack. Like you can tell it that you want, like I want my output to be like an AMD module or a common JS module or like whatever. And so there's these different like specifications of how modules are supposed to work.
Yeah.
And so you can tell Webpack, okay, I want this to actually be like a UMD or a AMD module.
Gotcha.
Asynchronous module definition or universal module definition.
Cool, got it. Moving forward, I like it.
Okay.
So far so good. I got everything so far.
So now, like, if you go back and now we're gonna have to go back into index.html and like require that. And
we have to remember that.
Close the loop.
Like, do I actually need to Google this? Let's see. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you need to do it like this. God damn it.
Yep. That's what I figured.
Well, the dot slash should still work then. Yeah. So wait, really? You can't close a script tag with like one slash?
I don't think that's really part of HTML anymore. I think it used to be. I mean, maybe can. I guess with image you have to.
And like with CSS, when you do like the link tags, you do it like that. Okay. Fucking weird. All right, whatever. All right, but good to know. Okay, so now this is going to read from our bundle. If I change this, I change the index.js to be hello from modified file in index.js. It automatically recompiles. I refresh the page. I get the modified file. All right, cool.
Yep, modified
pretty nice.
Index.js.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
YOLO.
Okay.
All right, killing it.
Yeah, no, all right, got it. But now we need to add React into the mix, which is what makes it hard. That's the thing that I've been like, fuck it. Someone's explaining that to me. I'm not figuring that out on my own.
We're in a good place now. It's gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Now. So yeah, literally just write like import React from React. And we're going to be cooking with
import React from React. Okay, cool.
Okay, so yeah, like write whatever React component you want, like a hello world component or whatever, do whatever you want.
Jesus, okay. So I've been doing so much React Native lately that I might fuck this up, but let's see.
No, you're great.
So do you do it like, this shit? Like,
that's totally fine.
Yeah, so you can do like
do you want to write a class? Yeah.
Yeah, like
you can still use React.create class if that is like more like comfortable to you.
No, this is the way I'll show you how I'm doing in React Native, and then like I don't know how much of that ports back to the web React versus how much is like native on iOS, but I think it's pretty similar. Where it's
it's pretty similar.
It's like class. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do we want? Just some DOM thing that says we'll just do the index HTML. Like we'll just remove this from index HTML and recreate that just to start.
Right.
So this is all the HTML you ever write. It's just all loaded from here. Or do you put like a div, like div class equals React target?
I do ID there.
This should be an ID. Yeah.
But yes, that's exactly the gist of it right there.
Yeah, it's like React target or some shit, and then
obviously so the other thing is if you wanted to have like React to be like cached by the browser, you would put like another script in here that said like you'd put another one of these that was just that was just bringing down React from like a CDN. You see what I'm saying? Or from like your web server.
Gotcha.
Because, like I said, we're going to be bundling in React here in a second, and
it'll rebundle the React every time.
It's going to slow down.
All right, so like React.js CDN.
No, let's just skip it for now. Or unless you
want. Well, I mean, it's just a link to it, right? Like it should just all scripts on CDN.js.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want the alpha. We want the 14.7, right? So they're like history. I don't know if that's the right thing to click. Definitely not. Fuck it.
I mean, ideally, you'd have your own like web server that serves this up, but yeah, we can do this.
Oh, you want to just serve it locally?
No,
fuck it. Let's just use a web CDN. Okay. I don't mind. It's fine if we use React 15, right? Like that's not going to affect anything, right?
I don't feel like it. Here, just go like this. Can you just do like...
Oh, god damn it. My bad.
You're good.
So React main, right?
Yeah.
So you would do...
Paste that above your bundle, yeah. Okay, so like I would... Can you comment that out just for a second so that we can just like make the illustrate the point, like make the teaching point? Yeah. Okay, so go back to index.js wherever we were building our thing. Let's make our component. Yep. Beautiful.
This is how I do it in React Native. I mean, I'm assuming you need to do this, right?
Yeah, you would. I think we're just gonna like have this be the entry point where we're literally just gonna write React DOM.render. Like this is gonna be the whole entire like entry point. So you're not actually gonna need to like.
Oh, because you're gonna. Okay, show me how.
We could split this out into a bunch of like like we could make like a components directory and like all these different directories. But I was thinking we would just do all right.
Let's just keep it simple.
And so you wouldn't have to actually like.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna want to have your render function that outputs some DOM or some markup.
And actually, I always do this. Like, because I don't like how its syntax highlights it if it doesn't think it's a string. Like, I don't like putting the rare tag. Because, like, this means, like, it's just interpolated code, and if you need to interpolate value, you can do the that, right? Like,
yep, that's true.
Right? So, like, I'll just write my text like this normally.
Right.
I don't know. It just makes it, like, more obvious. It's, like, template code and shit.
Nice. All right. Okay, so then, yeah, we're going to need to also import React DOM. So, like, import DOM from...
Like that?
That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can call it whatever you want, so...
Well, no, I'll do the way that people do it. Import DOM from React, like that, right?
Yeah. And then down at the bottom, you'll do DOM.render.
Like outside the component.
Yep. And you're going to render, like, this hello world component. So it's going to be like this.
And you have to do the target, right? Document.query selector.
Document.getElementById is probably what I would do.
Fuck that, dude. Query selector.
Really?
Yeah, because you can this is like a jQuery selector. Like you just put the pound sign.
Well, document.getElementById is the same thing. You just put in.
Yeah, but this is
React target. Okay.
Because like, yeah, this you could do a class.
Is that gonna give you like an array of things?
Nope.
Query selector.
So query selector all will match on.
Okay.
Query selector matches on like the specific. Like these are like the CSS selectors, right?
Yep.
So like query selector will get the first. If there's multiple, it'll give you the first. If there's only one, it gives you one. If you do query selector all, it'll give you an array of them. But yeah, query selector.
Nice.
So then you can put a class in it if you change it to a class. Like no worries. You don't need to do a different function.
Okay, well I think that's it. So go save that, and then go check your webpack.
So we want hello from a React component. You want to actually check webpack?
Kind of do, yeah. Okay, so it's saying. Oh yes, this is where like the Babel presets come in. So it's saying like,
this is still looking at the alert from a modified file in index.js. Is that what our index? But our index.js is this now. So it looks like it like errored and never tried to recompile. Like, does it like break if it errors?
What is it saying here?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
your token. You may need an appropriate loader to.
Yeah, but look at this is like on the alert thing. So it's like an old version of that file. So if this breaks, do I need to restart it, or will it try to? Looks like I should just try to restart it, right?
Yeah, I would probably restart it at this point.
Let's see.
Okay, so what is it saying?
Holy shit!
Right,
so it's saying color coding syntax. Oh my god!
It doesn't have the. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty
dope.
Sick. It's pretty badass,
dude. That's you could code in that, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's saying it doesn't understand the JSX.
Right.
This is where we need the React preset.
This is when I normally give up and go to closure.
That's totally fair. I understand that.
Okay.
So we're gonna make a Babel RC file.
Okay.
So this is like part of the JavaScript Fatigue.
Is it
it's like ridiculous.
Is it .babel RC?
Yeah, it's .babel RC
in
right
this top root directory.
Yep. Let me see. I just wrote this earlier today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you on that, man. It is ridiculous.
Okay, so you're gonna want to do like an object. This is gonna be like a little blob of JSON with like presets as a key. Yeah. Yep. and then the value is going to be an array, and that's going to be ES 2015 in React. So this is where those remember when we npm install -dev, these two presets.
Kind of, yeah. So wait, so just to trace this is coming from.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow, that takes a long time. So coming from package.json.
Yes.
We gave it these dev dependencies, and these Babel preset ES 2015. And what this is saying is, if I make a .babelrc file, then I can add these as presets.
Yeah, and what they're going to do is they're going to have different transformations. So basically, Webpack, the way it works is just it's inputs and outputs. So you give it your ES6, it gives you this output of ES5 stuff, right? And
which
so
is what this bundle. This is the output. This bundle, right?
Yes, but so and then Babel's kind of the same thing. It's inputs, outputs. It's just transformations of your code from one state to another. And so by default, the Babel loader that you give to Webpack, it's a very basic transformation, and these kind of beef up those transformations. The React one is going to say it makes it understand JSX, and this ES6 ES 2015 one is going to make it understand const and let and arrow functions and a bunch of stuff and imports and all that stuff.
Yeah, so basically you can't code modern JavaScript without these two things.
Pretty much. I mean,
you need this.
You probably don't need the React one if you're building Angular stuff, but
but
you probably should.
But you probably.
Let's be honest. You should probably be using React.
Okay, so then this is in my Babel RC. Then in my Webpack config, I say loader Babel loader, which tells it to look at my Babel RC.
Yeah. So then the Babel loader itself is gonna look for a Babel RC, and then I'm pretty sure how it says ES 2015 in React. Yeah. It's gonna literally look in your node modules for Babel preset, and then it's just gonna match anything that comes after that, basically.
Gotcha. So the Babel preset things are transformers. They're code transformers. They're not libraries. They just interpret code into
all of this Babel stuff. That's what it is. It's a transformation of your code, and so these ones just beef it up.
All right. So now if I try this again,
Okay. So you see how it's taking a long time
because we're not using the CDN.
This is because we're bundling in React. So that took
6.8 seconds, which is way too long. Yeah. Right.
So now go uncomment that line.
Well, did this work? Haha, no shit. All right, but now we're saying if I change, so it doesn't cache it by default. If I changed it, what was I going to go back to the index.js, right? If I change this, my question is,
if you change that
does it cache by default? So one exclamation point.
So now if you go back into your Webpack,
204 milliseconds. It got it.
Which is still a lot though, considering it was taking 11 milliseconds earlier, or or 5 milliseconds.
But it must cache some of it by default, or
Well, Webpack is smart. It's gonna cache as much as it can, but this is basically unacceptable, and this is
gotcha.
I mean, this is still fine, but imagine if if you add in Redux, you add in Lodash, you add in 5 other things, right? It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass.
Cool. So that's it. That's Webpack. All right. Well, okay. So now here's the question: is let's do SCSS, right? Mm-hmm. Although I guess technically you don't really need Webpack for that. You could just run it in a Tmux window. But okay. So now I wanted to add SCSS into it, right? Let's do.
Okay. So add a class there.
Yeah. Yep. Class equals I don't know, title.
Right. So then.
And then
the way that I've seen it done. Yeah. That's fine. Go for that. You want to open
it? Or I don't know, simple.scss, right? And h1.title, background, color, coral, or something, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so then go back to the index.js where we were writing our component. And then do it import. You're going to want to import that file. This is kind of an odd way, but it's the way that Webpack kind of works. So do import /styles/simple.css in a string.
Oh, that's CSS?
.scss, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so now how earlier when we were doing in our Webpack config when we were configuring the JS loader, so it'd say anytime you see JS uses Babel loader.
Yeah.
Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna add another entry. Anytime you see an SCSS, you're gonna use a particular loader.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, so like go back to your webpack config, and
so whenever they
basically just copy and paste that object and then change it from JS. Yeah. So test. We're gonna want it to be SCSS. You also wrote text there. It needs to be test.
Gotcha.
I can see
pair programming.
I can see why you would make that error though. Okay, so then I'm not exactly 100% sure on which like loader you're gonna need, but so I would go to just like the Webpack docs real quick and like look like for a SCSS loader. And let's see, I've actually done this before, so I'll just go look at an example that I've done.
Sass loader. Okay. So this isn't actually transforming the file. It's just like saying, like it's not making a CSS file. I guess it is in some.
It's gonna like inject it, I believe, into the. It's gonna rewrite your HTML. Like when your JavaScript gets loaded, it's gonna rewrite your HTML with this CSS like in.
So style CSS. All right, this is interesting syntax.
Yeah, so there's two different ways you can write this, and like,
command tab. Yeah.
So like, you can write it. No, not there. Index.js is where I want to go.
Command T.
I feel like
if you do command T.
So like you can write like this, and that like this like prefix, Webpack's gonna like see that, and they're like, this is the way that you can tell Webpack what loaders to use, like up front. So like in your import, you can tell it what loader you want it to use, but that's kind of gone out of style a little bit, and so now we just like write these like regular expressions that test the file extension.
Gotcha.
So there's two different ways to tell.
You could imperatively tell it, or just be like anything with this file extension, just do it.
Like afterwards.
But when you have a loader for this, like I get with the JavaScript is transforming it because like it can read React DOM and like put some JavaScript around it. But with this, I feel like it's a little bit different because it needs to like actually output a CSS file, right? Like it needs to transform your directory. Yeah,
so I believe there's different loaders that can do different things. You can either have it output like a new thing in here. So like in here it could say bundle.js and then like some hash function hash like weird title.css, and then Webpack would take care of importing it in the right place in the bundle.
Yeah, gotcha.
But there's other loaders where it'll basically rewrite the HTML that is shown in a client's browser to include that CSS. So it'll like inject into the head of the HTML some CSS. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I want to see it though. Like that'll make a lot of sense. But yeah, so it looks like, yeah, because really I just want to write it in SCSS and reload the page and just have it work, right? So like the way that I would normally do this, by the way, is like because it doesn't
have an appropriate loader is what it says.
Gotcha.
So it's like leading you to that same page.
Gotcha. But the way that I like normally you can just do like a Sass watch function, right? This is just using the Ruby Sass library. So I could just like do ./styles/simple.css, output that to ./styles/simple.css.
Yep.
Like just run this script in a tmux tab and like boom, like now it's just getting compiled. I don't necessarily need a loader for it. I have my simple CSS right here, right? And then I just require. Yep. You would just basically from here, but are you saying you wouldn't like with the Webpack workflow you wouldn't even need to put the link tag in here?
That's right.
Like you don't even need to do that.
That's right.
What?
It's gonna rewrite the HTML for you.
Wow. Okay. I definitely need to see that then because that's ridiculously awesome. if that's a real thing.
It is pretty cool.
No, that's really interesting. Like I've never seen that done before. So.
Sorry. Let's see here.
Okay, so let's get rid of these then. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna
so basically it'll just compile all your styles into one entity and then it'll inject that with a fingerprint into your head tag. That's like this is the cached asset file.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see.
Definitely do not want this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
tell me what to do.
you're gonna want to go back to your terminal and import some more loaders.
Gotcha.
So looks like you're gonna do npm install -- save dev, style loader, CSS loader, and Sass loader.
When it ends in -loader, does that just know that it's working with Babel? Like that's like the syntax of a Babel thing.
That's a Webpack thing for sure.
Oh, just -loader is just a Webpack thing.
Webpack Webpack the terminology that Webpack uses is loaders for all these things. So it's like the cool thing about Webpack is that it does all this stuff. Like it's one tool that does like JavaScript, images, styles, like HTML. Like it like works with all of these things together, and it just uses these different like loaders. And so the guy that like made it, he just like got all of these like awesome. He just like basically made all of these like or like a lot of these loaders. Like he made like 10, 15,
what a beast.
Yeah, he's a total beast.
Who wrote it?
I don't remember his name. I think it's like some like, it's definitely some like European dude.
Oh, damn it.
So definitely not Pete Hunt.
Yeah, not Pete Hunt. Passy, author of Webpack. No. No way a developer at Twitter wrote Webpack.
Was he from Twitter? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. Who created?
Well, if you just go to Webpack, like he'll be like on GitHub. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, good call. I think I had it open, right?
Webpack.
Sounds
of course,
like
it's some. Of course, it's some like startup here in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Webpack Logistics.
Disrupting packing for trips.
So it's this guy right here, Sokra. Tobias Koppers.
Germany. Yep, makes sense.
And so yeah, like he's got like all these. Well, so none of them are in here, but if you go,
this is a great logo, by the way.
CSS modules. That is a good logo.
Pre-Flexbox.
That's awesome.
Okay.
In the dark ages of CSS.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so do you want me to go to the actual Webpack?
No, I think we're good. I think we're done.
Oh, okay, cool. So, say style loader. We're gonna do
style loader, Sass loader, and CSS loader. Which seems like a lot. Like I wish we didn't.
Yeah, I'm very.
I think it's like supposed to be very modular.
What's the difference between? Oh, so CSS loader is probably the thing that injects it into the head tag.
Yeah,
Sass loader compiles Sass and style. I don't even know.
I'm not sure either, but
I'm just guessing.
You could read about all of them. Like they're all like documented. You can go read about any individual loader. It's just like this guy on this like Sass loader.
So loader doesn't mean anything. It's just like a syntax.
What do you mean?
Like the dash loader, is that specifying it's a specific kind of component? Like, does it have powers because of that, or it's just any Webpack module?
Oh, hold on, let me see here. Like
down.
When you did the npm install, these are all like I still told you before. These are all just space separated npm modules. So like you can go look this up on npm. Like
right,
if you
but
go to npmjs.org.
Why are some of them called dash loader and some like Babel core and Babel dash loader? Like what is the?
These are all just called loader because Tobias Koppers called them loader. When he was making the like libraries.
Gotcha. So it's like they're all like a series of libraries that end in dash loader.
Yeah.
That are like common tools.
That makes it less confusing, not more confusing, because if they all have like different random names, you wouldn't know, right? And so the fact that they're a loader, it's got like it gives you some context. Like you're like, okay, that could be a Webpack loader. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're not.
But they're just NPM modules.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. So
they're just like little bits of JavaScript.
So these are all NPM modules, but when it's dash loader, you know that it's like a Webpack thing. That you can, gotcha.
For sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
So then we have to go back into the Webpack config and like use those loaders for the SCSS files.
Okay. So
what does this guy say?
Webpack config.
This guy says usage. So yeah, your test is going to be SCSS. Your loaders are going to be style, CSS, Sass.
And what is this? So
that's an array.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can tell it, and then you have to actually change it from loader to loaders.
Okay, and this is saying I want to do multiple transformations on that's it, and I'm assuming they go in order, right?
It goes in reverse order. Yeah, so like this is the first one, and then this one, and then this one.
And that makes sense because it's gonna.
This is going to.
And if I put this out of order, it would break, right?
I believe so.
I'm assuming so. Yeah. Okay.
Same thing up here. Like you can do as many loaders on all kinds of stuff. So like you could do, like I don't know why you'd ever do this, but you could put another loader in here that was like coffee to ES6 or something like that.
Yeah, and then like, ES6 to
right. Like you could put like you could literally put like a coffee right here.
Yeah.
And it would like be really stupid. Like why would you do that?
Do people still use CoffeeScript, or is that like a thing of the past now? That
dude, people still use it. It's crazy.
Like JavaScript's good now. JavaScript's good now. Like it was like a hack, like for JavaScript sucking, but like
right.
I like it's really crazy that like everything was written in CoffeeScript for like 2 years, and now like I haven't seen a single thing written in CoffeeScript like on the internet.
Yeah,
like in 2 years.
That's the way it is now.
Like since React came out, I haven't seen a single thing written in CoffeeScript. It's pretty crazy.
Well, you're right. Like JavaScript just got better. Like that's just what happened. Like it just got like to the point where it's like okay, it's actually like relatively like decent to look at. Like it used to be like ugh, it's so gnarly, it's so ugly or whatever.
Too many semicolons.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people still use semicolons. Like but yeah, I don't know, that's a whole other discussion. Like we could argue about like why or why not to use semicolons for like another 10 minutes. But.
Yeah, it's like those trite things programmers argue about a lot.
Vim versus Emacs.
2 spaces versus tabs.
Actually, Vim versus Emacs is like bigger. That's like a little bit bigger.
I honestly I don't think it matters at all. Like I don't think
one
is better than the other.
I just used to use Sublime.
just
like dude,
whatever.
I don't care. Just write the code. Like whatever you're efficient in, just like do that.
Like I don't know why people think one is better than the other. They're just both text editors that you can configure to do whatever you need. But anyway, okay. So style, CSS, Sass. So this will go 1, 2, 3, and you think this injects it into that head tag? Crazy.
Yeah. So.
All right. I'm very curious.
The crappy thing is that like your dis/bundled.js is gonna look so gnarly. But like you can go look in.
Oh, there. This thing you mean?
Yeah, it's gonna look so like really crappy because it's got like React in there. It's got like a ton of stuff, but
so it's just literally one file.
You could search for background color coral in there, and you will find it. You will absolutely find it. It just might be slow because it's a lot of text to search.
Seriously. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, there you go.
Right, so like that's your CSS that you wrote.
Line 19,000.
Yes, that's insane. So,
hey, look, there's your boy insane. Tobias Coppers.
Right. The other thing is like.
So wait, let me. But this obviously looks exactly the same. But you're saying in here the actual HTML is modified.
It's like this. You can't see it here, but there's some code that's going to modify the HTML. Yes, like in this webpack.
But it's gonna put a.
There's about.
I don't know if it's gonna put a style. Like, does it put the style? Well, let's just look at the generated HTML. Right. Oh, it doesn't. God damn it, React. Okay. Class name, right? Like, isn't this you don't do this in JS?
Class name.
Yeah, it's like that, right? Is it class names?
Class name. You got it.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
All right, back in color.
Boom.
Well, let me see my HTML. Motherfucker. So it doesn't even
headshot.
do it. Yeah. But okay, so that's what the style thing does. Is it just like puts the actual style directly in?
That's probably what the style loader is.
Yeah,
exactly.
It
just like makes a style.
So then it makes sense because then it's like. Yeah.
You can do it differently though. So like that style one, there's other loaders. Like let's see, I've used.
Like I'd rather this just be like a link in the actual generated because this would just be like obnoxious to look at, right?
Right. So there's tons of loaders, dude. There's like a URL loader that like will split it off into its own thing. There's like promise loaders that will do lazy loading. There's all this kind of stuff. So like there's all these loaders that do like really cool stuff. So like whatever you want, you can customize the shit out of it. Like if you go to Webpack's website and look at their list of loaders, there's like a shitload of loaders. Like, here, let's go to their website.
Oh, is that not their website?
Right here.
What?
What? Sweet animation, bro.
Is that CSS? I bet it is. God, that's dope. I want to like refresh the page and watch it again.
Let's do list of tutorials.
How to write a loader, yeah.
List of loaders. There's loaders right there. It's like there's a ton of loaders, right? Like, so many.
Polymer, yep.
Like I think I just saw a coffee one, didn't I? Yeah, so like if you still want to write coffee, if you still want to write it with JSX, ES6, like there's ones for Elm if you're doing that.
Yeah.
So it's just like everything, dude. I mean Jade if you're writing templates. Yep. So it's extremely. That's the way that the architecture of Webpack makes it extremely extensive.
Useful.
Yeah.
This guy +1 that. Oh my god. All right.
You want +1 it as well?
Not really.
Yeah, okay.
+2. No, that I got it. So Webpack's just like has this really good community around it where people have built things. Like that was one thing that sucked about Grunt that I remember from using it is like all the modules were all over the place.
Yeah.
Like there was like 7 SCSS modules. There wasn't like a standard one. There was like 8 ways to do it. Like it does seem like this is, hey, look, like on our website, these are the things. If you need SCSS, you use this. If you need CoffeeScript, you use this, which like I really do like.
I basically think it's because this guy Tobias Coppers is just like a total
badass,
inhuman beast. Yeah, like he's just like
wrote all this shit.
You know?
Yeah, that's awesome. But like, no, this seems like way more manageable already than any of the JS things I've ever used before. So that's pretty dope. So class name title, we have that. We have our CSS injected into the head, which is a little bizarre, but whatever. Like, I'd rather just like link to an external file. But okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's Webpack, right? Like, pretty much that gets you like 90. Like, there's nothing else you need to write React with this.
Yep, that was the gist of it for sure.
Yeah, like, dude, that's
I mean,
awesome.
if I was building my own like project, I would normally come in here and like add some scripts here. Have you ever worked with like npm scripts?
No.
So like I would add another one that's like build.
So this is like just a terminal script, like a shell script.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in here, like whatever options you want.
Oh, for like a test runner.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We didn't like do anything with that, but
yeah, what
we could do is change this to be, right, and it'll do. Right, and so now if you run npm run build, then instead of webpack-w, like.
Okay, so npm, like that.
No.
Oh, just you want me to kill the webpack-w?
Yeah. Npm run build. Also, I didn't save. Okay.
So that looks in the package.json for this build script.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you do npm run, it'll just whatever this is called, it'll run that.
Yep. Pretty nice.
So you can have like a deploy script.
That's what basically like. So it's the combination of Webpack and npm scripts that can kind of like kill like grunt or gulp.
Yeah.
Like on my projects that I've worked on at work, like we don't even use grunt or gulp. We literally just use Webpack plus like npm scripts. So because you can tell it to do whatever you want in the script, right? Like if you want to do ESLint, you can do that. If you want to do
so build webpack-w. So then when I just run this, so you can just make one like npm deploy, and then it's just like deploy. It'll just do the compilation for everything it needs to compile, and it'll push it to GitHub or whatever, or like to your production server or something. That's pretty neat. I do like that. Build-w. All right, sick. All right, so
this I would normally add like a start, but anyway, doesn't matter.
No, dude, that's awesome. Okay, so I feel like that's Webpack, and then like